No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I don't know why I had that Chevy Chase thing from Caddyshack in my head. Sorry, I'm going to be slightly annoying today. Look, Emily, I did some lettering. This is episode 45. Wow, 45. Just like the president. I can't even say it. I didn't even put his name in there. Yeah, it is 3:20 p.m. here on the East Coast while I'm recording this. It is March 20th, 2018. Welcome to today's video. Get my autograph a little smaller today. Yeah, this was actually kind of a hard issue for me to get an idea of. This is exactly the kind of issue where cartoonists would just read the headline and draw a cartoon, which is what I think 85% of cartoonists do, you know, because it is kind of hard to understand. But basically, data analytical was stealing your information to understand you better, to know, and they did it to like 50 million users on Facebook. And the thing is, it's just like any advertising, but they're trying to target you specifically, kind of like cookies already do. Every time I look at guitar porn, and no, that's not guitars having sex. That's just like ads for guitars that I'll never buy. It's something I still do. And so every time I go to any website, I get ads for guitars. I mean, I go to a news site, I get ads for guitars. That's what cookies do. But these people trying to be more about you, which is like, know who's wants to see what kind of ads while they're targeting. Data are even who really susceptible to bullshit like fake news and everything. And they actually were quoted, like they were caught on camera saying that they didn't want people to realize where the information was coming from that they were sharing. But I don't think that's important, because every time I point out to somebody who's posting some fake news, a conspiracy theory, they tell me that I'm lying because they don't want to know the truth. So I don't really think that part's important. But anyway, they steal information from 50 million people, so they can do evil stuff. Who did they work for? They worked for the Brexit people, and Brexit won by 2% of the voters. They worked for Ted Cruz. You can see a pattern here, what kind of people they like working for. And whenever Ted Cruz's campaign was over, they switched their allegiances to Donald Trump. The whole thing is partly funded, or entirely funded, partly owned by the Mercer dude, who is the big funder for Breitbart. Kellyanne Conway worked for Ted Cruz, and she did a lot of stuff dissing on Donald Trump before she worked for Donald Trump and declared that he's like the second coming of Christ, and told us about alternative facts and waffle maker spying on us. But after Mercer left stopped back in the Cruz campaign to put a bunch of money into a Trump campaign, and right about that point, Trump hired Kellyanne and the Breitbart dude, Steve Bannon. I mean, these are bad people. They talk about bad actors. These are bad actors. And there's some stuff. And one of the guys, the chairman, was actually trying, he did get in touch with Julian Assange asking for his help in finding Hillary Clinton's lost 33,000 emails. So they were talking about, when they were caught on tape, about hiring a woman and secretly taping political opponents in compromising situations. And they said that they would prefer to use Ukrainian women. What is it with all these jerks and Eastern European women? You know, I don't get it. I mean, I get beautiful women, I understand that, but why specifically European, you know, like these Russian satellite states, former Soviet satellite states? Oh, I don't know. Drawing leaves is almost as bad as drawing grass. I mean, according to cartoonists, talk about, I know I switched topics with you there. When cartoonists talk about the things they hate to draw the most, usually it's crowds and grass. Leaves comes close, but leaves can be a little bit more interesting because they kind of shoot off in different directions and jump. The one cool thing about going digital is that I can just use the color ink here, so that's cool. Today's video is kind of long. We're like almost 13 minutes. Oh my gosh. So that means I have time for shout outs. Here we go. Mary Carmen, Quana, Ariel. But that didn't take any time at all. Crap. I need more of you people to come in here and comment. Actually, I'm going to slow that down a little bit. Because I really, really appreciate you folks. Mary Carmen, thank you so much. Quana, always, you knows I love you. And Ariel, you know I love you too. And she gave me 2 compliments. She liked the canisters on video 44. Since that took a second, we're going to go ahead and do the shadows for video 45. Let me pull that up. Pulling it up, pulling it up, pulling it up. I said pulling it up, not pulling it out. Ariel, don't get excited. Alright. Why am I picking on Ariel? I don't know. Again, Quana, I love you. Emily came in, and Robert Coutinho, and Ariel. And that's it. We are done with the shoutouts. So, I wasn't too sure how this would work out with the lettering on the snake. Because I knew that not all the letters would be upright. But I like the way it turned out. I did. Even like the blue. My Zucker snake. And this is a fun part. I do feel kind of bad about using a snake because I think it's unfair to snakes. I like snakes. I used to work with snakes, believe it or not. I used to work in a zoo. Yeah, and pet shop. So, I had 3 boo-boos on these apples. They had to go back. And I'll point them out as I see myself doing them here. Oh, where are they? Yeah, cat videos. I hate cat videos. I know I have a cat, but cat videos. Look, I see I wrote scammers twice. I had to go back from something else. Fishing. I misspelled fishing. Food pics. Food pics. And I thought of something else. Maybe that wasn't a mistake. That was just another addition. Yeah, that was a mistake. There it was. I misspelled sketchy. I don't know why, but I misspelled sketchy. When do I realize I misspelled sketchy? Took me a while. I did. And fish sing. Fish sing. And I think that's about the point. I was like, wait a minute. And then, I don't know when I realized I had scammers, but I was thinking of something else to do, to add. And then, so that kind of actually helped me out. Somebody actually commented on the blog that they were glad I used cat videos. Naked girl. Naked. Hey, at least it's not Trump, right? My next cartoon is going to use a word, unless something changes and I do another cartoon. The next cartoon is going to use a word that I hope doesn't scare off my clients too much. But I think it should be allowed. You'll see what I'm talking about when you see it. Of course, when you see it, you'll totally forget that I ever said this right here. So, yeah. Alright, let's fix the fishing. I was going back and forth on layers because my hand kept hitting it. So, it wasn't working out. When I was like, it was very frustrating. So, I had to keep going back and forth for just itty bitty tiny parts of the damn thing. Sketchy. There we go. There we go. Now scammers. Gotta get rid of the scammers. Work on that scammers. Different shade of red. Don't know why. But selfies. Yeah, seriously. If you're a grown adult person, stop taking selfies. Especially those bathroom selfies. You know? Where you're pointing your ass at the camera and your face, and we all see the sink and the toilet in the background on the tile. Stop doing that shit, okay? You're not a 12-year-old girl. Or a 12-year-old boy. Or actually I'm seeing 38-year-old men doing this. So cut it out. And the food pics, seriously, it's kind of like, in a way, it's like in your face. I'm living so well because I'm eating sushi today. Good for you. You bought some food. Awesome. Somebody else made it probably. I just hate that. See, I'm gonna do very well as a grumpy old man when I get there, if I'm not there already. My ex-wife used to tell me that when I was in my 20s. She's like, "You're gonna be such a grouchy old man when you get there." She's grouchy now. She was right. I was always grouchy. I'm still grouchy. I can find something to complain about every day that doesn't even have anything to do with politics. Just things in my normal life. And I tell myself this all the time. I need to stop being so grouchy about things. I should just ignore things. I should ignore that bucket of water that's been sitting there for 3 weeks in the kitchen. I should ignore the laundry someone has that's been in the machine for 3 days. I should just not go complain about it. It's driving me nuts. Oh. Anyway. Yeah. All these things are bad on the Facebook machine. You run into them everywhere. The clickbait. You know what really gets me about the clickbait? I want to bitch about that for a second. Say you see these quizzes on Facebook, and they're like, hey, bet you can't identify all these 80 bands. And you're like, oh yes, I bet I can. And then you go in there and they show you a photo of the band and you click which one it is. And you're like, wow, I'm really good. I can recognize Van Halen and the Scorpions and Poison and the Barge or whatever. And you think, wow, I'm really smart. Or you come back and go, you know, that was really, really easy. That was very, very simple. Of course it's simple. You know why? Because they just got all your information. That is called clickbait. Don't click those polls, okay? Those little contest thingies. That doesn't give you anything. And if anybody asks you to fill out a survey and they'll pay you $1 for it, but then you got to download an app to get paid, don't do that. Don't do it. That's how Cambridge did a lot of their crap. They did these surveys where they paid people $1 or $2, and then to get paid they had to download an app. And yeah, that money's real. It's a real dollar. I mean, they don't care. They're getting it from campaigns that are spending, like Ted Cruz spent about $5 million on Cambridge and he lost. Yeah. So you'll get that dollar, but they're going to get a lot more out of you than the dollar. Naked woman. Naked woman. Don't mind naked women so much. Haven't seen one in a long time, but yeah. Clay's in a dry spell. Alright. Leaves, grass. Family newspapers I'm working for here, people. And yes, you will hear the news in the background. Speaking of Eastern European women, there's Melania. And she's addressing criticism of her anti-bullying campaign. I'm going to have to turn this up later and hear what she said here. I can't imagine how she will respond to it. They say Melania speaks like 5 languages. I've only heard her barely speak 1, okay? So I don't know if that's true. I think I could claim that I speak 4 languages, and nobody can ever prove me wrong if I refuse to speak any of them. But the 1. How do you know? Alright, here's your finished cartoon, people. Here it is. By the way, I can speak 4 languages. Not really. Not really. I can barely speak English. Alright, folks. Click the like thingy. It's the button right by the video. Click it. If you're watching this, click it. And please share this on the internet. Share it on Facebook. It's a better thing to do than all the data mining and the cat pictures and the selfies and the food pics. And do me a favor. Please subscribe to the channel and come back tomorrow. Love you. Bye.